Okay. I've been singing out my creep for like the past 10 minutes. Oh, speaking of music, there she blows. I'm gonna try doing a. Are we dead ass? I'm gonna try doing the music on my end again. Just because then it's less editing for me. My only concern is that I won't yap as much, so we'll see. We'll see how bad it is. Playing with the sleeve today, it's been a little bit. Oh, maybe I did aim train last week. I may not have. No, I think I got too lazy. I was packing to go back home. I was packing night of, and I thought I was gonna have enough free time, but packing took a little bit longer than I was anticipating. So it's been a little bit. Haven't really been playing as much FPS either. But really, I don't really like being on the glass whenever it's cold. So I usually start with my sleeve on just to warm it up a little bit. And I'm not as cold and locked out. But yeah, not even surprised that was my last one. See if I can't get this any closer. Not really, but you know what? This will have to work. Let's just see if I can't be goated on the sticks. But yeah, I'm playing more of the finals. They fixed whatever was wrong. It kept like randomly kicking me. I think I'm just gonna be a power shift main. I don't really love. I don't know. I wish deathmatch was a little bit better. I wish it was like a free for all instead of TDM. I think that would actually be really fun in the finals. And then ranked and quick play, like the regular cash out, whatever. Not really for me. I don't know. Like, I definitely have moments where I'm like, oh yeah, I want to play something objective based. But for the most part, like, I just want to shoot people. And so whenever I'm in the mood to shoot people, I feel like it's not really good for that, you know? So I gotta play like Power Shift or one of their other game modes that they're doing. I'm back and forth on whether or not I want to play medium or light. Yeah, I don't know. I just really like the engine that it's built on. Like, the shooting just feels really good in that game. I just wish it was more about shooting and less about like, oh, my character can do all this cool shit, you know? I feel like it's definitely not really about shooting anymore. It's more about proper utility, which is like fine. Like, I totally get it. I feel like shooters in general are kind of going that direction. You know, even tac shooters, like you look at like Valorant, and it's gotten so bad that they've had to make characters that their whole gimmick is that they don't deal with utility. You know, like KO is the first one, but I think their most recent guy is like fucking nuts about it. So I get it. Like, I was gonna say, I was kind of popped off there, but yeah, I don't know. I'm back and forth. Still been playing some Battlefield, just cause like I just like shooting, and Battlefield's good about that. You know, my gripe though is that I don't know. It's not about the maps. I feel like in old Battlefields, like you could permanently flank and get away with it. Now I feel like there's only ever one flank route, which maybe from like not being flanked perspective is kind of nice in a way, but you know, when your enemies only have one flank route to be careful about, it makes it really difficult to flank. So I don't know what the issue is, if they need to make bigger maps, if they need to be more open. I just feel like my issue that I always ran into is the more open maps that they do have, I can't even flank on because then it's like no man's land in between, and it's just a bunch of snipers aiming at like the field. Versus like if the whole map is open, I don't know. I'm not a game dev, and there's a reason for it. I truly have no clue what the fix is, what's different about this one versus older ones, but maybe it's just a skill issue. Maybe people are just better, which I don't know. Considering how much the community's cried about people being good. But yeah, just kind of doing my thing. I'm gonna apply for a different position at my job tomorrow, so that's gonna be dope. I'm pretty confident that I'll get it. I'll be surprised if I don't get it. I guess that's kind of what I said about the last one. I didn't get the job I just applied for, but that's okay. That one felt more like a 50-50 toss-up. They said it, they explained it to me as if they weren't going to hire anybody for the position, like they were going to revamp the entire position. Whether that was just a soft blow or not, we'll see, but this next one I'm pretty sure they'll, because I know that they prefer me in this other one. I just think I would have enjoyed the other one that I applied for more. So, but that's all right. I don't really care either way. The other one was just gonna be easier, in my opinion. More monotony. Would have given me, I think, more free time to work on this. More energy to work on videos. I'm in sales, so, you know, I socialize all day long, every single day. To come home and kind of like pseudo-socialize even more, it'd be really draining. It'd be pretty taxing. But who knows? Maybe I'll get nasty enough where I don't need to be entertaining in any way, shape, or form. I can just shoot people, and that'll be the entertainment. We're keeping a consistent sense so far, though. I just really need to get rid of those like jitters. You know, my movement isn't like smooth and consistent all the way through. It's like jumpy. It's like stuttery. I'm like almost back and forth instead of just one smooth line. It's like I'm double guessing everything, and I know that it's just time spent, but I thought this was the one where it like jumps all above me and it's super fast. But yeah, I've been trying to emphasize the fingertip aspect of my grip. Whereas before, sometimes like I'll end up like almost like holding it like a normal mouse like this. But I'm trying to emphasize the fingertip aspect of it. And I think on my HSK Pro Lite or HSK Plus Lite, I think it was actually a little bit more native for me to try and do this, but I think the extra low profile on the HSK Plus that I'm using makes it a little bit less intuitive for me to aim like that with my fingertips. So I think I've been more inclined to hold it like a typical mouse. I would still consider it fingertip because there's no palm connection. But yeah, I don't know. Not too sure. I'm just trying to be a little bit more intentional about it rather than just having it like this. I want to have it like this. I just don't know if I want, because my sensor is in the middle, right? I don't know if I want to kind of cup the sensor and then have like the middle of my hand be my sensor, or if I want to have it in the back here where I'm almost pointing my sensor. That makes sense. Like my sensor is kind of leading in a way. Like this is me kind of like cupping it. I could see advantages and disadvantages for both. I think for one, if I don't cup it, if I kind of point, then it's a little bit more native. It's a little bit more what I'm used to. Versus if I cup it, I could see it definitely having a little bit more, what's the word? Precision. I definitely see myself being more precise with it cupped like this, just because you have more fine control over where your sensor is. And who knows, maybe it does feel more intuitive after I kind of break that muscle memory a little bit. But yeah, I'm undecided. Not entirely sure yet. I kind of go back and forth. It's definitely hard whenever I'm like just whenever I'm just like playing a game where I'm not like, my brain's not like super on or anything. It's definitely hard to maintain like a cupped grip like this, where my hand's over the sensor, just because it's less of what I'm typically doing, so it takes a little bit more intention. But who knows, maybe this is how I maximize the benefit that I get from this kind of mouse. But it is interesting, whenever I do cup it, I feel the fatigue that I feel other people were talking about, which I never felt on my HSK Plus Lite. So I'm wondering if maybe that is the way that I'm supposed to be using it, just because that's the fatigue everyone's talking about. But who knows? I haven't really played like this. I just kind of like do whatever's comfortable in the moment. I've been trying really hard to make my clips of usable quality. So I'm wondering if I should do similar content to, wow, really close to my best. Similar content to what I'm doing now, but instead I just choose a topic to focus in on, and then just have clips in the background. This is the bane of my existence. Shout out Mr. Tone for saying probably one of my strongest suits from a content perspective is just my ability to yap and be concise and clear about it. And so it might be a good way to just kind of yap with some good content in the background. I definitely don't want to stop doing my long form like what I'm doing right now. I don't really want to stop doing this because I watch this. I go to bed to these. So I personally like the content. So I'll probably keep doing these. I mean, it gets videos out. They're easy to do. And frankly, I've learned like quite a bit about how I want to go about making content, like where my standards lie, what I want out of it, just by making these. And since they're so like relatively low effort, it's not like it takes much. Like I'm almost exclusively gaining from it. So like, why not? And then do a little bit more high effort stuff on some other day of the week. You know, my goal was Wednesdays for long form stuff, and then Fridays for a little bit more intentional videos, whether that be gameplay or these clips and like kind of topic videos that I'm talking about. You know, I think I'd be like similar to a Moist Critical in terms of what I'm trying to accomplish, like just have a topic and talk about it. Not necessarily like a news channel, but you know, just like a personality. Something to put on in the background while you aim train or while you're going to bed, or just someone to interact with. I'm almost like a podcast, like podcast adjacent. You can think of it maybe even like TikTok content where it's just easily consumable. You know, it's nothing too. I'm not dropping like video essays about how to aim or what the best FPS game is. Like even like I kind of do want to make a video about what I think the best FPS game is, but it would be like a discussion. You know, it wouldn't be like, here are my criteria. You know, it would strictly come down to like a subjective feeling, like what I prefer about shooters and which shooter does that best, kind of thing. Because I understand that like there are 100% people who are like, oh, Valorant's the best shooter, or like Siege is the best shooter, and for me, like I wouldn't even consider TAC FPSs. Like the only TAC FPS I think I would even put in the conversation is like Fragpunk, but that's because it plays the least like a TAC shooter. But you know, anyway, that's for a potential Friday video. But who knows? You know, I'm thinking like I'm gonna try and do one of these every week. I might turn it into a series of aim training every week for a whole year, and just kind of tracking the progress that way. A little bit more manual tracking rather than just like having the videos here and then you know, hoping for the best. I'm just having to go back. Hopefully this music isn't too loud. I feel like these guitar riffs are a bit aggressive. That is one concern I have with me not adding in the music post, is that the volume levels are going to be off. Unfortunately, it just counts as desktop audio, so there's not any real way to change it. For some reason, for my recordings, the levels, like the audio tracks, weren't being separated properly. So they're kind of all together right now. I'm trying to figure that out. I don't really know what the issue is, but who knows. So far, though, I do kind of like this cupping idea. It definitely feels like I have a little bit more fine-tuned control over my sensitivity. Dude, this is definitely like a scenario that I need to improve at, because whenever this happens to me in game, like whenever somebody strafes to this extent, or they're just like back and forth, dude, I get cooked. Like my cursor in Timbuk 3, it's ridiculous. Like you can even see, like this dude is fucking me up. Like, bro, I'm actually getting demolished. But yeah, everything else has been relatively the same. Thankfully, we're performing pretty decent, I would say, for having not really locked into this too hard. He says right before he whiffs for the first 10 seconds of the scenario. Holy crap, this one's cooking me. But I'd say it's very easy to just like perform really poorly with these. But I'd say I'm doing a relatively solid job for having kind of been locked out. This one, it really is cooking me though. I don't really know why. God, I need to blink. And there will be a day in which I'm confident in my reading and tracking. Yeah, I can definitely feel how jittery I am in this one. I kind of want to reset. This is just bad. Yeah, that was bad. Oh, I need to blink. Oh, damn, that burr. I'm also trying to play with my hand up here a little bit more rather than... I feel like I'm definitely prone to playing down here on my, like, lower on my mouse pad, but then if I have any big movements, like a big flick or anything, I don't really have like area to go. Like it's pretty much just I'm cooked then. Oops. I gotta like recalibrate my brain for these. It's like micro jumps. Alright, bro, spamming. He did the same jump every single time. Okay. Oh my god, bro. Yeah, I'm kind of locking the fuck out. Like, this is crazy. I'm just not feeling like fast or accurate right now, and I have no clue what happened. Maybe I'm trying too hard. I don't know. Maybe I'm too focused on yapping. I have not a clue. But I definitely feel, I don't know, kind of icky. But yeah, I'm kind of looking for not necessarily a new FPS. I don't know. I kind of miss the days where there was like a new like COD clone every week, and I feel like they don't really exist anymore. Dude, it feels like my FPS is like low. But yeah, you know, just like a shitter game that I can pull up, like Iron Sight. I remember me and my homie played that. And it was like, this was before I took FPS even like remotely serious, but it was like a fun time, you know? God, it really does feel like my FPS is super low right now, and I don't understand why. Especially because it has not felt like that the entire time. I'm actually... Don't mind me. Where am I going? What am I looking for? Advanced display. Nah, man. I'm just being cooked. 120 FPS. Like, this should be fine. Maybe I'm used to it being 240. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just smoking pure crystal, bro. Alright, bro is moving at Mach 11. God, I miss when these were fun. Good lord. I don't know, I guess I haven't really thought about what it's like, the cuff method with actually pressing down M1. Because right now I'm using space to fire. Holy crap, bro. Like, are we dead ass? Why am I only getting 140 frames? That doesn't even make sense. It's Kovacs. There's no way this shit is that taxing. That's like, it's Kovacs. It's like literally nothing. I don't understand what the issue is. I have like everything off. Simulated input lag. That's crazy. Why would I ever want that? Like, I get why, but like, no. Do I lower the texture resolution to do 80? I don't know. It feels chunky. And I don't really know why. Oh god, this feels even worse. Yeah, texture resolution was a bad idea. It's almost like there's like screen tear or something. What in the world is going on? Maybe I'm just making it up in my head. I don't know. No, this definitely feels god-awful. What is going on? Okay, I'm going to restart my game. What are we at? Air, pure, intermediate, slow, no UFO. I don't know. Something feels crunchy. So hopefully this makes it better. I don't know if something weird was just happening or what. Okay, where were we? No UFO. Was this air, pure, intermediate, slower, no UFO? No UFO was at the end. This looks about right in terms of where we were at. I think this was it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, oh my god, way smoother. Yeah, I have no clue what the hell just happened. I don't know what was causing that. But that felt horrible. Really weird. This almost feels like too fast now. It's like kind of hurt my eyeballs. Yeah, that was, I don't know. Super chunky for whatever reason. I have no clue what could have caused that. Especially considering the fact that I've recorded like full videos, so I don't think it was the recording in any way. think I have anything booted. I don't think I had anything downloading. I don't know. Weird. But hey, we're fixed now, so who cares, right? Man, in light news though, my apartment complex changed their internet provider. I went from like at absolute most, I'm talking pure peak, I was downloading at like 24 megabytes per second. We switched our internet provider, and as far as I'm aware, this is no extra cost out of my pocket, which it probably really should. I guess I wouldn't be surprised if it was. But we switched our internet provider. Yesterday, I downloaded a game. Like my peak was like 116 megabytes per second. It was ridiculous. It's like a 50 gig game that I downloaded in legit 15 minutes, which for me, unheard of. Unheard of. Not even close. It was actually insane. So that's been nice. Dude, I really wonder what deteriorated my quality so hard. These ones are so difficult. But I will say it's really satisfying whenever I do successfully track it for like a good amount of time. And I do think that I've seen some actual improvement in my personal game. I don't think I was bad at aiming by any means beforehand, before I started aim training and like before I started using fingertip mice. But it's definitely elevated to another degree. Like, you know, I'm just kind of dialing in my fundamentals a lot more than what they were. Especially because before I really focused on, wow, I'm surprised I did so poorly. Before I was really focused on static aim. Like something like this is where like I put a lot of my effort and training into. Versus now, I would say it's definitely more on the tracking and target switching side, and you can tell that it's more on the tracking and target switching side. I found that the best practice is just to left click and use my space bar here, because these ones I've like actually gone through it. I swear the registration is not there. Like it does not register my shots. Like I've like gone through my VOD and I've like heard the mouse or the the space bar click, and my cursor was like on top, and there was no number one, I didn't hit it, but like on the bullet ones, you can see whenever you shoot because you lose ammo, and I didn't lose like any ammo. It was actually driving me insane. See, look, that's the cheat code. You just gotta use both. I will say my flicks are horrific. Like definitely a lot more movement than there needs to be. The big issue is just a pure lack of confidence. I mean, when I really break down how much time I've spent playing FPSs, I don't know. To this extent, man, it's really hard to say. 3 to probably like 4 years. I guess I should look up when Valorant was released, because I played Valorant in the beta, but then I stopped playing for a while. Like I was a big like Dark Souls player. Like I played a lot of RPGs. I definitely didn't play as many shooters. Like I was really big in a Dark Souls PvP. And I liked Valorant, but it wasn't like, I don't know, Valorant was not like my, I just like, I don't know, wanted to flex. What the fuck? What is going on? I just wanted to flex whenever I played Valorant. Like, sure, I definitely tried to improve, and like, there was a point in time in which I, like, that's why I picked up Kovacs, was to improve at Val. But in the grand scheme of things, like my hours spent aiming are pretty low, I would say. I guess in terms of like when I compare it to how long I've been gaming. I was a console gamer for a long time. And even on console, like the furthest that I got was I played Siege for a while. I guess I played a fair amount of Battlefield 1 as well. But, you know, console doesn't count. And then, probably the shooter I played most. I probably did play Valorant the most. But I put a fair amount of hours into Apex, so I got a little, like, real world training, but, I don't know. It's just been dialed to 10 in comparison ever since I got my fingertip mouse. So I definitely think there's been major improvement. I just think, for me, it's a little weird because I remember, like, I would see clips of, like, Penguify or, like, these just, like, really good aimers and think that it was just, like, unattainable. While I definitely don't think I've obtained that by any means, it definitely feels within reach now versus before. Like, it didn't even feel plausible. But I can see in my clips that I have the potential to kind of have those moments. Man, some people are just a different breed, though. Like, I don't know, just aiming just feels like such a crazy mechanic. Like, there's so many ways to be good at it. There's so many things you have to be good at aiming. You know, even playing like someone like Soldier 76 in Overwatch, you know, like, felt so underwhelming before, and now it's like I don't really want to play anyone else because he's like the aim guy. Oh, I forget who the aimer is. They were just in the Raw Input podcast. Not this last episode, but the episode before. Damn, I'm not killing any of these. He's a Soldier 76 player. He's a super chill dude. Oh, man, I really forget his name. I think it started with a C or an S. It had, like, the S noise. I just don't remember if it started with a C. Yeah, he seemed pretty cool. His clips are nasty too. He's just like some dude who's super cracked at aiming with Soldier 76. And, like, not to say like that's it, but it's like that alone just takes so many skills that it can feel like relatively unattainable, especially at my pace. Like, I think if I really want to get cracked at it, I definitely have to train more. Maybe be a little bit more intentional about my playtime. I think for right now, it's mostly just about building that routine and then letting the passion kind of take it from there. You know, training at least a little is better than not training at all, in my opinion. This way, it's not like I don't get any training. It's just maybe not as intense as it could be. But yeah, I don't know, kind of on the hunt for a new shooter. I did have Overwatch for a little bit, and, like, was trying to play Soldier. I think I just don't really like the game as an individual, though. Like, just from an objective standpoint, like, I don't really enjoy Overwatch. I know I don't like Marvel Rivals. Something about that game just feels so fake. I don't know. It's just, like, not like a very tactile experience for me. Like, the feedback I think that I get from all of it is just kind of mediocre. Feels very half-baked, like, not to be like, oh, it's for casuals, but it feels like it's for casuals. Like, I'm pretty sure that, like, that is their demographic, right? Like, people who are game from a social perspective. Like, it just feels like their mechanics aren't very in depth. Dude, my game's, like, deteriorating again. I'm back to 150 FPS. Oh, man, I really wonder what's causing that. Having to restart all the time is going to be annoying as hell. And maybe it is just for my recording. I don't see why it would, though. That's, like, I've recorded multiple episodes and not had an issue. I can, like, feel it, like, tearing, though. I'll restart after this one. Yeah, like, Marvel Rivals just wasn't enough for me. Dummy switch easy slower, and it's pretty late. This is so weird on why that's happening. I should look this up and really figure this out. I wonder if well, this is happening before I even changed anything. Oh, it actually saved my progress this time. Yeah, now it's back to being really smooth. I mean, it's really weird. This doesn't seem like what I'm supposed to be on. Is it? Okay, I guess it is. I really wonder why that's doing that. I feel like that's not something that's happened before. I'm trying to think. The only thing different about my setup right now is that I'm doing Spotify, but I had a video where I did Spotify in the background. Like, I've done this exact thing before, and I didn't have any issues. I mean, like, I guess I did enable plus boost, but that was after, you know? I did just enable. I changed my gamma, and that was it. No VSync. I didn't change any of this stuff. Really weird that I'm running into this issue. I guess I'm just hoping that we get through training without it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's like some underground shooter. I think the issue is that, like, from my perspective, like Battlefield 5 and like the finals just feel the best in terms of feedback. Like, I don't know what it is about those engines, but man, they feel great to shoot on. But Battlefield 5 is like dead, and the finals doesn't really have like that perfect game mode for me. I really do think that if TDM was like a free-for-all, I think I'd really, really enjoy it. Just because, like, man, I just want to shoot people, you know? But, like, the engine and the guns feel great for it. I wish the clip sizes were a bit bigger. Like, maybe TTK was a bit faster. There is definitely, like, my perfect game is in that engine somewhere. Buried deep. Holy crap. Holy crap. Whether or not I actually see that come to light is another story. I tried to play Echo Point Nova. I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I played through the campaign before I was aim training, and I mean, definitely a really fun game. Really cool concept, like really good movement. But now that I'm like really big on like tracking and stuff, like not really for me because that game doesn't have a whole lot of it. Like it doesn't. It's a very different form of tracking, and the feedback doesn't feel the best. I think that's what I found I don't like about a lot of shooters is that like I look for something a little less tactile, where I think like that's like Echo Point Nova is kind of like that, or like Apex is very like tactile, and like almost like the best way that I can describe it is it feels like a blue switch for like a keyboard. If that makes sense. Oh god, these ones. Versus I like, I don't know, maybe like a red switch or a brown switch, something that's a little bit more like buttery. Like I like a very smooth, and I think that's why I really like Battlefield 5 and the finals engine. They're just very like responsive. Like the animations feel very responsive. It feels just very smooth. Like there's no like, it doesn't feel like a game where I'm like flicking every 3 seconds, versus like Apex feels like a game that you should be just because of the engine. You know, even like Titanfall, or like I think COD feels very tactile. But yeah, you know, as I get more and more interested in like playing FPSs from the perspective that I play from, I'm finding that like TTK is really important to me now, versus before I didn't really care. Like if I could just shoot people, it was fun. But now that I'm like playing for a much different play style and reason, like having a good feeling TTK is so much more important to me. Like I said, like the finals is definitely too long in my opinion, not from like a what that game is trying to produce and do perspective, but from a like I want to shoot people perspective. You know, it sucks that my whole clip is used on one person, and it feels like, I'll say it does feel rewarding when you one clip someone, but then like it kind of feels hard to clip on people in the finals for that reason. You know, even if you go heavy, like, you're not really target switching that much because your TTK is the lowest in the game at that point, you know? So it's definitely such a difficult trade-off. The best I can see is, like, if you, like, absolutely mow down 2 lights back to back, I could see that being possible if you're, like, a medium with the AK, like, with 32 bullets. But yeah, I don't know. I think just, like, maybe lowering the TTK and making the clip sizes just a tish bigger, I think the game would be a lot more fun from, like, a clipping perspective. Dude, we're already back to 120 FPS again. Seriously, what is going on? Or is this because I'm in a menu? It must be because I'm in a menu. Okay, yeah, because we're back to 200. But it still feels like it's deteriorating. Am I crazy? I have no idea what is causing that. And it's honestly really annoying. Like, I don't even know if, like, the recording is picking it up, but feels very crunchy in comparison. Like, it feels so bad right now. Like, we're very quickly dropping frames. And what did I only get through? 4? There must be something wrong. I have no clue what it is, though. I'm gonna have to look it up after this. But... And then for Battlefield, I actually feel like the TTK is a little bit too fast. It feels a little hard to... I really don't like when a game is like I think COD is really bad about this, and Battlefield, especially the new Battlefield's kind of bad about this. But if somebody shoots you first, I feel like it shouldn't give them the automatic kill. I think you should definitely have the ability to kind of beat them anyway. Dude, I seriously can't play like this. I'm restarting one more time. And I truly have no idea. I have no clue what it even could be. The only thing that I'm not currently using that I have open is was Discord. So I just turned off Discord, but it can't be. It's not Discord. I can guarantee it. I'm not like in a VC or anything. I'm not streaming. So much better, so much smoother, and I really don't know what's causing this. So I don't know. I'll have to look into it. Who knows? Maybe my recording looks like shit because it's just too many resources, but it just doesn't make sense why that would be like that now versus later. Maybe I should turn off my shadow play. Because I guess I did up my quality for shadow play, so maybe that, with that running in the background, is kind of eating too many resources. Who knows? I don't know. But anyway, you know, I think it's a little bogus that if you're just shot first and you lose, like, I think that's a little bogus. You know, if I have enough time to turn on people, like in the finals, I definitely have enough time to turn on people. In Apex, I have enough time to turn on people. It's not about who shoots first. It's about who's, like, better quality. Obviously, shooting first gives you an advantage, but it shouldn't be the deciding factor in a fight, in my opinion. Versus when it is like COD or Battlefield, it definitely is the deciding factor, and it's not close. I will say with Battlefield's Bloom, like, you can get away with, like, you can have people who just whiff like crazy. But it shouldn't be based off of Bloom. It should be based off of, like, skill and TTK. I think one more bullet, maybe 1.5 more bullets across the board in Battlefield would make the game feel a lot better, in my opinion. But man, the clips in that game are so absurdly small. It's ridiculous. It kind of sucks that, like, I get that the game is kind of built for clips now, but it's like for one kill clips, or like the one clipping someone, reloading, one clipping someone kind of thing, versus like getting a nice flank and one clipping like 4 people with literally one clip, which is like kind of what I want to do. Like that's the kind of playstyle that I'm trying to curate with my training, and just like what I try and do while I'm playing. But because the clip sizes are so small, And the alternative, like even if I do a big clip size, then I can't ADS fast enough. So it needs to be like hip fire if I want to be able to react fast enough. So I don't know. I think the perfect concoction for me is like Battlefield with a little bit longer TTK, or the finals with a little bit shorter TTK. Both of which having bigger clips. I guess for Battlefield 6, Battlefield 5, I feel like the clip size was fine. The TTK also a teensy bit fast, but like that's not that deep in that game. It's a little bit different in that game. But yeah, games that have you decided strictly because you shoot first, I think is super lame. Is my biggest issue with COD, at least the last one. A little bit in the beta too, but COD got overshadowed by Battlefield for me and will continue to do so. The beta didn't like grasp me in any way, shape, or form, so I'm not really interested in trying to go back to it. But yeah, that was definitely like my biggest gripe. Was feels like I can't outplay. Like it's more about positioning, map knowledge than it is like shooting people. So time spent is going to be a little bit more valuable in game than in a trainer. That just kind of feels bad. Like when my one gimmick is that I can aim well, like I feel like it should be allowed to be my gimmick. You know, you're almost encouraged to just kind of like sit around objectives in that kind of game where first bullet wins, but who knows, you know. Maybe I just didn't know this meta, because for the longest time in Battlefield I was using LMGs and that's just like not viable. The ADS speed is horrific on them and I wanted to use them in close quarters. They're fine at like medium range, and if like you're sitting up, like if you're setting up outside of an objective or on an objective, like it's definitely great for that. But the second that you're in close quarters there, I mean, you're just done, you know. There's absolutely nothing, because the ADS time is like double or triple. Dude, again, I'm dropping frames like a bitch, bro. Like that's crazy. I really have to look into this, so I have no real idea what's causing this, and I'm hoping that my recording isn't bad, you know, as an indicator. But I can't imagine that Kovacs is resource intensive. It's Kovacs. Like I should be able to run this game at like 500 FPS. I don't know. It's situations like these that I wish I had a big community too, because I'm sure there's somebody out there who would be able to look at this and be like, oh, it's because blah blah blah, and then I just have to click 3 buttons and then it's fine. But no, I just have to go do the work myself. Yeah, I'm just gonna do the last one. But man, this shit sucked with it being a crunchy like that every other scenario. It's crazy to not get through 4 scenarios without it being crunchy like that. And then it, you know, deteriorated so bad earlier. I swear I was getting like 60 FPS. It was horrific. And like for someone who's used to around 120 and pretty much everything I play, 150 plus, 60 FPS feels so bad. It feels like I have input latency. Like you can definitely see it. I think the first like tier, like 60 to 120, is such a noticeable difference. It's insane. Okay, that wall is just so fucking far. Yeah, this just feels so bad, man. I don't even want to look at how many frames I'm getting. Hey, new high score though. But yeah, thanks for watching. The few of you who are, that I know you are, appreciate you as always. Hopefully me quitting out every 3 seconds didn't suck, but yeah, another week in the books. Who knows? Maybe I'll lock in and do some other scenarios. But for right now, I think this is a solid baseline. Is just doing the viscose trainings until I don't know, till I lock in on what my weaknesses are. But yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.